My name is Dietrich Hunt. I am a photographer. I'm the owner of Swiss Photography and Swiss Photography Studio. I got started in photography. Matter of fact, I had no interest in photography, never thought about it. When I first got saved, when I first went to church and decided I was going to serve in the church, my pastor ended up asking me, or ended up telling me that he needed photos and videos around the church. And so he gave me a camera. It was a Canon T2i. He gave me a camera and said, "Yeah, I need photos around the church." And that's what I did. And I just kind of never put it down. And so it turned into what it is. I was just fascinated with the camera. So like there wasn't nothing in particular that made me say, "Oh, yeah, I'm gonna turn this into something." It just I went home, I jumped on YouTube, tried to learn everything I could learn. This is back in like 2000 and I don't know, 13 or something like that. Went home, jumped on YouTube just to learn everything I could learn about it. And from there, I just kind of took off. I was fascinated. Started taking pictures of everything. My wife was pregnant at the time. So I'm taking pictures of her, taking pictures of my people or whatever. And from there, I just kind of ran with it. I just didn't quit. I had my own studio back in 2020 during the pandemic. And really what inspired me to open it, I was looking for photography studios to work in or work out of or whatever the case is. I tried a few out. I went deep west, tried out a few photography studios, and only thing that stopped me from actually becoming a part of somebody else's studio was it was too far. I lived east. Most of the studios were deep west, and I just wasn't willing to make that commute. So I went to one studio in particular, and I just looked around. And I'm like, what's stopping me from doing this? And so from there, I just kind of went back home, just kind of brainstormed, and then the opportunity presented itself for me to open a studio, and I ran with it. And so 2020, I opened the studio in Warren, I believe. Yeah, it was in Warren. And that was the first time I had a studio. And when I lost that studio, I wanted to get back to it because there's nothing like having your own space. There's nothing like having your own space to create, nothing like having your own space to just leave your equipment if you need to, you know what I'm saying? Not having to pack up your equipment and carry it back home and all of that kind of stuff. So um, I opened up my own space again last year in 2024. And so I've been going ever since. Having studio photography under your belt, I feel like there's so many different areas of photography. You got people that shoot outdoor, natural light, cars, people. I feel like studio photography is one of those things that's avoided until you do it. And then once you do it and you realize you have control over all of the scenario, all of the situation, it makes you more of a master of your craft because now you know that this light controls that, this light hits that, these lights going across and make this. So you got a lot more control over the situation once you get studio photography under your belt. And the better you get at it, the better your images come out, the better your photos look. And so I think that having that under your belt just makes you more of a master of your craft. When you start, you going off straight creativity. A lot of people, well, back when I started, a lot of people that started was going off of creativity. They got a camera, they want to do something creative. And so you out shooting every day, you out just shooting, taking photos of anything. It could be buildings, people, cars, toys, whatever. You out taking photos of anything. Once you get introduced to the business side of it, now you're worried about making money. And so I think that kind of waters down the creativity sometimes. And so staying creative, I think you just kind of got to go back to why you started doing what you do. Going out and shooting every day. Because I guess when you start making money, you stop shooting for free. You stop shooting because you were passionate about it. You stop shooting because it was fun to you. You only shoot when somebody's paying you. And so in order to stay creative, you have to go back to your roots and actually start shooting just because you want to create more. You're just shooting because you want to create a dope image or whatever the case may be, outside of the monetary gain that you get. To avoid burnout, don't overshoot. So, and I guess that kind of clashes with what I said last, but what I mean by don't overshoot is don't let people take advantage of you. Because some people will see that, oh, you a photographer and you cheap or you new or whatever the case is, and they'll try to get you to shoot any and everything. And so to avoid burnout, pick what you're going to shoot, select what you're going to shoot. Be strategic, be intentional about what you're going to shoot. Also, be creative. You know what I'm saying? Try to do something different in your shoots. You know what I'm saying? Try different focal lengths, try different lighting, try different depths of field, try different things in your shoots. It's okay to also draw inspiration from other people, but don't look too close. Don't look too closely at what other people are doing because you start to compare yourself. So try different things. It'll keep you creative. Again, if you feel stuck, go shoot. If you feel the imposter syndrome is something I feel like a lot of creatives deal with. But in order to combat that, I feel like just go shoot. You are exactly who God created you to be. Go and shoot. Go and take photos. Go, whatever it is that you may do. We talking about photos right now in particular, because that's what I do, but go and do whatever it is that you do. And that'll build your confidence. The more you shoot, the more your confidence will build up, because realistically, we feel like imposters because we haven't perfected or mastered our craft to a degree where we know exactly what we're talking about, exactly what we're doing. So we don't feel like who it is that people think that we are. But the more confidence you build up, which comes from actually shooting or doing whatever it is that you do, the more confidence you build up, the less you're going to feel like you're not that person. You know what I'm saying? So, and that just comes with a confidence thing. Like, I know what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know how to get the results that people may want or I may want. And that'll create a confidence in you where you don't feel like an imposter. I wish I knew the business side before I started the business side. Because there's a lot of things that you may not know that will catch up to you, taxes being one of them. And if I had known a lot more about the business side, then I would have avoided some pitfalls later on down the line. So I wish I knew that. I also wish I would have known social media to a degree that it is now. There's a lot of science to social media, to promoting, to branding, to business. So a lot of those things I wish I would have known then, and it would have progressed me further along than where I am now. If I had to pick one niche, oh man. That's tough. That's tough. If I had to pick one niche, I think it would be couples / engagement. As far as like photography, yeah, it would be couples / engagement, like love. If I had to shoot one thing, it would be love. To me, I think some people just complement each other very well. Well, a lot of people complement each other very, very well. And when you're shooting a couple, they take away a lot of times they take away the insecurities of the other person. You know what I'm saying? So when they shooting together, they can kind of find comfort in each other versus worrying about the camera, worrying about people looking at them, whatever the case may be. And then to me, when you got a fire couple, man, like the photos just they dope. You know what I'm saying? Like I really enjoy shooting that. You need community. You can't do anything. You can do very little by yourself. Community helps in times where you're feeling discouraged. They help in times when you need to bounce ideas off of people. They help in times when you're feeling like, oh, I'm the only person struggling with this or dealing with this. Community is definitely the remedy for all of those feelings, because you're dealing with people who, although they're having separate experiences, they're often dealing with the same feelings. They're often dealing with the same situations, and they could tell you how they dealt with it. They could tell you what it made them feel like, and so you're not feeling so alone. Because typically when people feel alone in things, they tend to make certain decisions based on them feeling like they're by themselves, or feeling the embarrassment of being by themselves and nobody else has experienced this kind of thing, or whatever the case may be. So community to me alleviates all of that. You get to bounce ideas off of people that are like-minded. You get to brainstorm. You get to come up with creative concepts with more than just yourself. I think it's important because I guess even I'm a believer, so I believe in God, and I think when God said it's not good for man to be alone, that is like one of the concepts to me when it comes to community. It wasn't just about him creating Eve for Adam, but more so creating community for people. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you have a community of people, you realize that you're not alone. Goals is just I do have a few goals. I do want to get my studio to a point where it's regular business, regular people coming in to create, new photographers coming in and becoming masters at their craft, and helping them do so. I do have, weddings coming up that I got to shoot, that I get to shoot. I have different events, different workshops that I got going on where I'm helping new photographers, and not even necessarily new photographers, but the photographers that may be new to particular areas of photography, helping them get better at what it is that they do, so they can go out and do what I did faster. Well, often I think about how long it took me to get to where I am now. And one of the most important things that most people won't tell you is that the best way to master your craft is to master it. And all that is just going to do it. Like, a lot of people think that it's a secret, a tip, a trick, a shortcut. And in reality, the people that end up the furthest are the people that did it the most. This is Swiss Studio. We are in St. Clair Shores. We do studio rentals. We do workshops. Myself personally, I'm a photographer, but if you got a photographer, then you can bring your photographer in and make it happen. We do everything pertaining to photography. So come check us out.